All right, thanks, guys.
All right, take care. Let's go to Jim Harris of SportingLiveArkansas.com.
Now, this is Joe Pesci, the manager of the Cincinnati Reds.
How about that guy?
Hey, you think I'm funny?
They blank you at the press conference.
Like a beep.
Yeah, that was a pretty good one. That was a 5+ minute rant. That guy got after it.
77.
That is, I don't know if it's
F words.
It's not the best rant ever, but it's definitely the most profane and the longest.
And it's at the media. You know, it's always the media. You guys, the media.
I'm sick of this.
That includes me, too.
It does.
Barely.
I'm sick of the media being under attack. I really am.
No, the media. We're always at fault.
It's annoying.
It's always our fault. Hey,
Well,
what's up?
Hey, Razorback baseball's up, my friend, up in the rankings. Things are looking good.
Did I not predict it?
Yeah. Did you say they'd win the series?
I said no. I didn't say they'd win the series. I said if they'd win one game, it'd be like winning the series. I said in February, I said, hey, this is a young team, 20 new guys, going to be slow start. You know, I didn't think it would be that slow, but I said things are going to be a little slow early, but come mid-April, you'll start seeing them gel.
10 of their last 13.
Put it together.
Only team in the SEC.
You can go back. I bet Matty T's got the tape.
I bet he doesn't. Only team in the SEC to win each of their last 4 series. 10 of their last 13 victories. 4 players last week hit over 400.
I know it.
And Pat's boy, Andrew Benintendi.
I'm sorry, Benintendi.
SEC
the Benintendi family.
Of the Flying Benintendis.
Yes, SEC Player of the Week.
Yeah, first time ever in his career. So,
does he have a baseball playing family like that?
No, they were actually in the circus. Oh. That's why they call them the Flying Benintendis.
Flying Benintendis. Well, he's flying 14 homers, 7 doubles. How about 19 out of 22 stolen bases? I'm talking to Phil Elson yesterday. That's the unsung stat. I mean, think about that. I mean, he has 7 doubles, but he's got 19 times where he's, gone from first to second safely. So he's basically getting a double there in scoring position, igniting the offense. His average is 100 points higher than last year, give or take a point or two. Of course, the ball's a little better, but 100 points.
Fine.
He's having a huge sophomore season.
Then I'll ask the question.
Good news. He's a sophomore.
When is the last time Arkansas had Player of the Year in basketball and baseball?
Ooh.
Oh, geez, I don't know.
Never.
Never been a baseball player of the year?
There's never been a basketball player of the year.
Yeah.
In the SEC. Arkansas's never had a player of the year.
I'm pretty sure the 94 baseball team was not didn't have a player of the year in the SEC. So
yeah, no, but I don't think that's what I'm saying. I don't think it's ever happened. That would be pretty amazing. I don't know if he's got a chance at it, but if you lead the nation in home runs and you're also jamming on the stolen bases, I would think that he's going to have a look at it.
He's going to have a look, but it's still going to probably go to either one of the LSU guys or one of the A&M guys, probably. A&M's got a 419 hitter still, and they've got a pitcher that's got a top ERA. I mean, there's a lot of things Arkansas did great this weekend, and one is beating the number 1 team in the nation on their field and pretty well getting everybody's attention again, because you saw how they jumped into Baseball America's top 25 and got a lot of notice.
We talked about that. The top 25 is in,
but around the country. I mean, when you beat the number 1 team, it doesn't matter if it's SEC or what. I mean, you're getting a lot of notice, and that ought to put them in great shape if they keep playing the ball they're playing now to get in the NCAA tournament, no matter what would happen in the SEC tournament. And if they keep playing the same ball they're playing, they should finish 3rd in the West. I think they take the top 5, or they take top 10 teams, right?
Isn't 3rd in the West like 3rd overall too this year?
Probably.
With SEC, with LSU.
I don't know. Vanderbilt's up there. What's their record?
Yeah, Florida too. Florida's 31-10.
Florida swept Mississippi State in Starkville.
It's impressive.
This past weekend, and of course that's who Arkansas has coming up at home this weekend. It ought to be a fantastic sports weekend for Razorback fans to get a chance to see football, baseball. You help recruit a couple of basketball players.
Yeah.
You never know.
D1Baseball.com, LSU number 1, A&M 2, Florida 6, Vanderbilt 13, Missouri 14, Arkansas 25. Arkansas's only 52 in the RPI, though, Jim, which surprised me. I'm not sure how they base all that. But
yeah, and I don't know either, considering. Here's one thing. Shout out one more time to Carlos James at UAPB.
Love him.
He and his Golden Lions won at Missouri,
Yep.
As you know, and they also won at Mississippi State earlier this year. But I'll tell you, beating Missouri, a ranked team, top 20, that's I hope Carlos and the Golden Lions can go ahead and win the SWAC.
Yeah, they were leading their division before last week, and they got rained out, I know, in one of their games, and then they had to make it up.
Wouldn't that be cool if they got in the NCAA and got in the same regional as the Hogs?
Yeah. I don't know if I wanted to be in the same regional, but I'd love to see them get in.
Oh, I think it'd be neat if they got in the same region.
You do?
Yeah, that way, I mean, it can't be stopped. Got to play an in-state team. Can't stop it.
There's that, I guess.
Jim, you got to give that up.
No, I don't care. Hey, look, I've made it plain on the show. Football is a whole different animal. But these smaller sports like basketball, you know, all these low-level sports like basketball, baseball,
right.
They can play the in-state teams. It's not going to hurt anybody. It's not going to change the fandom. It's not going to change the recruiting.
Oh, you think it would change? Oh, okay.
No, it would not.
No, I'm saying you think playing football would change the recruiting.
No, I don't even think they need to worry about it. There's too few games, too few non-conference games. It's too big of a hassle. I understand where they're coming from. Don't have to do that. I've seen ways they could do it and be a benefit to the state, but if they're not going to do it, and it'd be like a, helpful charity to the state, and keep the stadium here, viable, then don't do it. But I can see where Arkansas should probably be playing in-state teams instead of Mississippi Valley and other SWAC teams.
Jim, call back in July and we'll beat that drum. By the way, UAPB coming off 2 losses to Southern. Lost to Southern twice over the weekend. There is in-state baseball on Wednesday, so there you go, some solace. UCA travels to Pine Bluff Wednesday, 3 o'clock, Torrey Hunter Baseball Complex. You can watch UAPB and UCA get it on. And then UAPB gets back into conference play at home against Grambling State this weekend. So there.
Cool.
All right, and they're playing Kansas, too, coming up here as well, so they're taking on another top.
Ewer beat.
Well, maybe not top program, but
is it okay to say Ewer, or do I have to say UALR? Or Little Rock? Actually, it's Little Rock now. I'm pushing Little Rock.
It's Little Rock's team.
I prefer that.
It's Little Rock's team, and I prefer Little Rock too. Had that discussion with Chase Conk and others. They beat somebody. Who they beat in a midweek game? Everybody is.
Missouri?
There's so many upsets in midweek games
I think
now.
everybody's beating Missouri.
Missouri's
they beat Missouri too.
I think everybody beat Missouri.
They beat Missouri in a midweek game. All right. Go Hogs. Go State. Go
Trojans, I think you're looking for, yes.
Go whatever. Yeah.
So.
Go State of Arkansas.
Yes. Arkansas takes on Mississippi State this weekend. It is in Fayetteville, as Jim mentioned, part of a big weekend with the spring game, the Friday game 6:35, Saturday 6:05, Sunday 1:05, and you can hear all those games on the Buzz. What are you looking for in the spring game this weekend, Jim?
What I'm going to be looking for personally is how many defensive linemen show up and play well. Looking to see if they're really is deep and looking as quick and talented as the reports have them. Of course, they're playing each other. It's always how a team looks in the spring. It's how they're looking against each other. It doesn't always necessarily mean how they're going to look in the fall. But the defensive line guys are looking better. I want to see Brian Wallace, offensive lineman, back up. I want to see the new alignment with Denver Kirkland at left tackle, see how that's working out. Dan Skipper at right tackle. I want to see if the defense puts some pressure on the offense coming that way against Skipper and see how he handles it. I want to see Brandon Allen, see if Dan Enos, the new coordinator and quarterback coach, has brought, what he's brought to the table is enhanced Brandon's downfield throwing and receivers ought to be fun to watch. They're talking a lot about Sprinkle being really, 20 pounds heavier at least and still as fast. That'll be exciting to see. And the secondary's been looking really good. We didn't get to see Santos Ramirez last fall. They held him out. But I'm looking forward to seeing how he hits and how he's playing safety. And there's just a whole lot to watch this year. That's how far they've come. 2 years ago, I'm not sure what we would have been saying. But I think what I've been hearing too, they even showed the team some films or some clips of their first spring, and it was, it's like a humor hour, I guess. Compared to where they are now physically, how they looking the part all the way across the board, like an SEC team now, and not where they were. I mean, there's a really good reason why they won 3 games, 2 years ago. They didn't have the players. I mean, or the players they had were not developed to play yet. I mean, that's just the facts. And they're getting closer to that kind of team that could win 9 or 10 games next year.
I like the high praise. What about receivers you're watching this week, and who do you expect to rise to the occasion? Then we also have talked a lot about, we spent a lot of time this yesterday, the backup quarterback situation, and it's getting pretty crowded back there, especially with the recent announcement of a verbal commitment from Louisiana.
Yeah, they added Cole Kelly out of Lafayette. Stole him right out from the backyard of the Raging Cajuns. Actually, Oklahoma State and Kentucky had been after him too, as far as major teams. And I'm sure if he hadn't committed now, he will still continue to get interest. I mean, when a kid commits, contrary to what people believe, like in Arkansas about Arkansas players and stuff. I mean, when a kid commits, he's good enough. People still stay after him. I mean, there's no gentleman's agreement here. I think the only one that has this gentleman's agreement anymore is Mike Anderson recruiting Kayvon Allen. I think he's the only one that observes that gentleman's, so to speak, of, okay, you've committed, I'm going to leave you alone thing. Cole Kelly's an interesting specimen. 6'7", he can move. Even though he's like 240 pounds, he's not a statue back there, they say, and I think his film shows that. I don't think he's got Mallett's 75-yard bullet that he could throw. I don't think he's got that kind of arm strength, but, he's also just going into his senior year. But the thing about Mallett was at Texarkana, Texas High, is that everybody knew it then. When he was in high school and he went up as a junior against Matt Stafford and Highland Park, people knew right then that Mallett had he was blessed with the huge gun. So, but anyway, it's a good commitment. They've gotten several good commitments lately. They got Bryson Landry out of Archbishop Marrero out of Metairie. Say that all one time.
That's a lot.
I know Metairie.
Aren't even for Pat.
That's about it.
But that was a great commitment. Defensive tackle. Defensive tackles are that's kind of like signing the postman in college. You don't think, for basketball, you don't have a whole lot of great ones to pick from. And to get a great one like they think Guidry's going to be is a great coup for the staff this early, although I think they're only at 4 commitments. You look around the SEC, there's a ton more commitments. At Ole Miss, I think they've got a top 10 class right now with the number of commitments and 4 and 5 stars they've already attracted. Alabama's doing their usual thing, but the Hogs are pretty selective, and they're working on on some of the top players in the country, so everybody get pretty excited about that. And as far as the receiver, you asked me who I would be looking for. They've been really touting Eric Hawkins again, and I want to say Eric Hawkins has tended to be one of these guys that's looked good in the spring, and then you don't hear much about him when fall comes around for whatever reason. But I'm looking to see, he's always been kind of a little thin, but very fast. And he's run track up there too. That may have been part of it. But if he's committed to football, people really touted him out of Texas. He was from, I forget the town he's from now offhand, but he was from the North Texas area on that I-30 from Texarkana to Dallas. And Arkansas pulled him out, and he was very highly regarded among the high school ranks when he was coming out. The guys that cover high school down there talked him up pretty good. So it could be Eric Hawkins' time. There's that spot for him to step up and be the complement to Keon Hatcher, who I think they'll probably take it easy with. He's been a little banged up. He did come back from his foot injury to practice this past weekend, but I mean, Keon's kind of proven himself the last half of last season, and so have the running back, so I don't expect to see much out of any of them, any of the main ones.
Well, big weekend in Fayetteville, without a doubt, and you got spring football, and you have Razorback baseball taking on Mississippi State. So head to the Hill this weekend. Should be lots of fun.
Yeah.
And Jim, if you
go, great. Most of it's free. I mean, baseball, what?
For that.
$10?
Yeah,
is that
cheap.
what it is?
I think we may have some tickets. We have to check in on that and see if we can get some of those.
Maybe able to catch a glimpse of the minor leaguers, Jim. Probably basketball team might be working out.
What's that?
The basketball team may be working out?
Yeah, the minor leaguers. The basketball
minor
team.
leaguers? How about we do some recruiting, Pat?
No, we don't have any scholarships. Well, now I do. We got 2 scholarships
they do. They have 3 scholarships to give out, and they need a postman that's almost like a McDonald's All-American. They need a real high-flying, explosive swing guy that makes ESPN's top 10 plays of the night on a regular basis. That's what they need.
I think I know a guy.
Can you work on that?
Yeah, we're going to work on that.
Well,
we'll get it sealed up in the break, Jim. Don't worry.
Okay.
All right. Hey, man, appreciate it. Enjoy your weekend.
Right,
we'll talk soon.
Thanks.
All right, Jim Harris, SportingLifeArkansas.com.
Sure, you just walk around the local YMCA.
Hey, you.
2, 3, 4 of them, maybe.
I take you. You, I'm iffy on.
That'd be great.